Hi, David Allman here. I am thrilled today to talk to you about this new app from Positive Grid. Positive Grid released a while back an amazing amp modeler and effect processor for iOS devices, Jam Up, and today they're releasing a game changer. Their new app is called Bias. It's an amp modeler. It's more than that. It's an amp designer. You can get into the amp and change everything. And it does it so well. You can change the preamp, change the tubes, change the power amp, and just design your own amp. It's incredible. It's really a game changer. It's available for the iPad 2 and newer devices. Let's check it out. You're going to be mind blown. When you first launch Bias, you'll see different factory presets that are organized in musical styles. So we have some clean tones, some glassy tones, some blues tones, and we even have some bass tones if you want to plug your bass into the software. Let's see what we have in the clean tones. If I click clean tones, I have 4 different amp models here. Let's pick 76 RC20 120, and this is how it sounds like. Let's see what we have in the blues tones. The blues tone is made of 4 different amp models. Let's pick a Tweed Deluxe. Let's check out the crunch tones, and we'll take a British Lead 800 based on a Marshall amp. So out of the box there's a lot of usable tones, but that's not where Positive Grid stopped. Once you selected an amp that you want to start with, for instance this British Lead 800, I can go behind the amp and see what's happening inside by clicking this icon here, and this is actually the inside of the amp. I have my preamp, I can add some EQ, a tone stack, a power amp, all the different components that make the tone of an amp. Let's see what's happening in the preamp. I have 4 tubes here in this amp, and if I want, I can change those tubes by selecting, for instance, the input stage tube, and I can change that to, let's do a 12AU7. Alright, I've got my new tube here, and that is active, and I can do the same for the other tubes. Let's now see what happens in the tone stack. This is going to help you get a tone that is right in front of the mix. It's going to help your sound pop out of the other instruments, and you can adjust that with the bass, middle, and treble. You can adjust the power amp also. Same, you have your power tubes here that you can change and alter them and change the type of tubes that you're having. The transformer can be adjusted, the cab. As far as the cab goes, it's a very neat little interface. You can just move your microphone and set it wherever you want on the cab. I can change the type of microphone that I have. Let's do a C414, and I can change the cab model as well. There's a lot of different combinations that you can use to come up with your own sound. Now, you might say that that's a little complicated for me. I'm not a tweaker, and I get that. That's where Positive Grid did something brilliant. They included all these different steps for your amp chain. They included some presets. So if I go into the preamp, for example, here, I click on presets. There's a lot of different presets that are going to alter your preamp the way that you would if you were to create, for instance, a rock clean sound. And automatically the right types of tubes, the right settings are set. And there's a lot of different presets for the preamp. Let's do a twang type of sound here. Let's check out the presets for the tone stack. Let's do a classic clean tone here. And same for all the other elements. You have a bunch of different presets that are going to allow you to come up with the sound that you want really quickly without having to know all the different options. That, combined with the incredible presets that are included, are going to allow you to come up with your own tone with the iPad 2. Let's check out a custom preset that I created here. It's based off of a British Lead 800 because I just love Marshall amps. And let's see what we have inside that amp. I altered the preamp a little bit. I changed the gain knob just a tiny bit. And one more thing, I'm going to go into the power amp and I'm going to adjust the bias a little bit. I'm going to adjust the bias so that it's a little bit hotter than it should be. The bias is going to affect the tubes in your amp. And in real world, if you were to adjust the bias too hot or too cold, it would probably break those tubes. Not in the software. So you can really experiment with the bias here. I'm going to bring this bias a little bit higher. Here's my right flat in the middle bias, and then you'll hear how it changes the tone. And that custom preset was so easy to do, and it sounds so good in rhythm rock type of thing. For this, I just based my preset off of the British Lead 800, which is included in the app. Here's how it sounds factory preset style. And here's the altered version that I tweaked a little bit. Let me show you how that preset sounds in context with a simple drum and bass line that I created in GarageBand. You'll see how incredible this can sound in your own studio. I hope you enjoyed this review. If you're a guitar player and you have an iPad 2, you owe it to yourself to check out Positive Grid's bias. It's out today. It's a game changer. It's incredible. Check it out. I'll see you next time on this channel. Salut.